So today what I'm going to be working with is a prosperity, abundance, money, whatever you need. That's what we're going to be working with today. So I'm going to try to keep this relatively simple, nothing too complicated. All you're required to do is sit back and relax. So I spent this last week working with the eclipse's energies, and doing so, I realized I've sort of become sort of a shut-in this last week. I've been to myself, just kind of doing energy work and whatnot. And it's been going pretty successful. I've had, small miracles and stuff like that happen in my life this last week. Nothing like, big, like, winning the lottery or anything, but things that, were very convenient for me just kind of fell into my lap, which I'm really, really grateful for. But I still have a lot of work to do because there's still much to be done this week. And lately I've been feeling like every week the workload intensifies for some reason. It's like you finish with one, work week and you're like, oh, everything's fine. But then the next week it's like it's 10 times worse. You're either doing more work or you have to travel or something. I mean, that's in my life. But yeah, it's kind of why I've been sort of a shut-in these past few days, this past week and whatnot. The energies I'm working with right now are energies you're going to be using to attract any sort of resource, revenue, whatever needs you may have, whether it be financial or just something of the material world. Need a new car, house, appliances in the kitchen. I don't know. I want to use this session to kind of get the energy moving in your favor. That means clearing out anything that may be blocking you from achieving said goal, like buying a house or a new apartment without hitting the mic. I've been job hunting for a second job, and I've had a couple of interviews, but nothing that really stuck. And usually when it comes to jobs, I sort of have to kind of trust the process, because there's only been two jobs in my entire life that I didn't stay very long in. One I quit, the other one I got laid off. But for the most part, most of my jobs that I have, I'm there for a very long period of time. I don't, like the job I have right now, I've been there for, it's been 2 years so far. So, I've been trying to get a second job, so, so I can increase the revenue coming in, as well as go to school. So go to school and work 2 jobs. I was doing that while I was living in Los Angeles. I was working 2 jobs and going to school. And it sounds like pretty hectic, but for someone like me that gets, I'm not say bored easily, but who just doesn't like to sit in the house, even if that sometimes is the best thing to do, working nonstop and like going to school, as much as it seems like torturous, it actually keeps me out of my head. And I get things done and I have more money. That's what I use work to do. As much as it sucks sometimes to walk into a very hectic environment, especially when you work in the service industry, it keeps me out of my head. It keeps me from thinking about things that I have no control over. It keeps me focused on the present moment. And I guess that's why in some cases I am a workaholic, because I use it to keep myself focused on the present moment rather than worry about the future. And how I function is, if I know I'm working towards my future and I'm doing something towards my future, that brings me comfort. But when I'm sitting idly by, like these last 2 days, it's been my off days. I'm off on Sunday and Monday. But even that makes me angry. I was supposed to go into work on Monday, but some circumstances happened. Thank God my employer told me he was going to cancel me anyway, because just I had a whole bunch of like things come up, and I just was like, oh my God. And today basically had me just sitting idly by and resting, getting some rest in. But I wanted to go to work and then come back, do laundry and whatnot. But the one thing I've learned, though, in these last few months about myself is that I am way, way too overly dramatic for my own good. I don't try to be. And the thing about it is that I'm very self-aware. when it happens. I'm talking about myself. I know. I apologize. These are my narcissistic tendencies. But just these last couple of this last week or so has just been really ridiculous. The last 2 weeks have been just purely ridiculous. But things always seem to work themselves out, and they did. They worked themselves out. But like, I don't know, I see myself just having these like moments of just it's like a part of me knows it's gonna like fix itself, but then I just still have like those like dramatic outbursts where it's just like I know it's not needed, and I'm just like, I know I'm dramatic, but the situation calls for it. And my friend who just moved in back with us, for those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, he's Chris, the guy that was in one of the videos last year that we did. He's the other guy in the videos. Yeah, he just moved back in with us. But yeah, I just noticed my overly dramatic tendencies that, and it's not like I'm like freaking out, outwardly, and I'm just like, causing, a ruckus. But like, I'll just be in a mood, and I'm just like, why am I in this mood? It's gonna fix itself. But I'm still in the mood. I don't know, guys. Just people these last 2 weeks. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like I love people, but these last 2 weeks have just been one of those. It's just been these 2 weeks where human error it's just a bit too much, but hey, no one's perfect, right? But anyways, I am so sorry I kept you guys waiting for this long for another video. Just had so much hit me at once, and I had to take care of it, or bad things were gonna happen. And we wouldn't want that. Alright, so I'm just gonna shine a light for just a couple seconds. And then I'm gonna switch it off and then switch it back on. So, what this is doing, it's allowing me to send light energy your way. Kind of sealing that prosperity and good luck. I love you guys so much, and thanks for watching my videos. Good night.